1. Don't expect work to be easy, as easy success often leads to arrogance. The first part, don't expect work to be easy, advises that in all tasks, we should not expect things to go smoothly without obstacles. This advice stems from an understanding of life and work. Every achievement requires effort, persistence, and sometimes overcoming difficulties. Expecting work to be easy not only reduces our preparation and effort, but also leads to disappointment when facing real challenges. The second part, easy success often leads to arrogance, warns about the psychological consequences of achieving success too easily. When a task does not require much effort yet is successful, people tend to become complacent and arrogant. This attitude not only hinders personal growth, but also decreases the ability to face and solve new challenges. Arrogance can cause a loss of humility, an important virtue for learning and progress. Overall, this saying teaches us about the importance of facing difficulties and challenges in any endeavor. Patience, perseverance, and a humble attitude towards all successes are key factors in the sustainable development of both individuals and the community. 2. When considering human nature, we shouldn't expect a journey without obstacles because it is through these challenges that our learning becomes profound. The first part, when considering human nature, we shouldn't expect a journey without obstacles, reflects Confucius's idea that in the process of self-understanding and personal development, we should not wish for a path free from difficulties or problems. Human nature is complex and diverse, containing many aspects that need to be explored and understood. Encountering obstacles in this process is not only inevitable, but also an opportunity for learning, reflection, and growth. The second part, because it is through these challenges that our learning becomes profound, reinforces this idea by stating that without challenges, the knowledge and understanding we gain would not be truly deep or comprehensive. Obstacles or challenges stimulate deep thinking, requiring us to research, explore, and push beyond our limits, thereby achieving a thorough understanding of issues. Through this saying, Confucius wants to convey the message about the importance of facing and resolving challenges in the process of learning and self-improvement. Each obstacle we encounter is not just a barrier, but also an opportunity to develop ourselves, expand our knowledge, and deepen our understanding. This requires patience, courage, perseverance, and the ability to learn from mistakes. Therefore, Confucius's message of, when considering human nature, we shouldn't expect a journey without obstacles, serves as a reminder of the value of accepting and overcoming difficulties in our journey of self-improvement. This not only makes us stronger and more independent, but also enriches and gives meaning to our learning process. 3. At parties, don't try to act like a hero because alcohol has caused many to fall. The first part, at parties, don't try to act like a hero, warns against showing off or thinking you are superior at social gatherings where alcohol is often consumed. The deeper meaning here is to advise everyone to stay humble and not appear arrogant or overconfident, especially in situations that might lead to losing control. The second part, because alcohol has caused many to fall, clarifies the consequences of alcohol abuse, a long-standing social issue. Alcohol, if not consumed carefully, can lead to poor decision-making and uncontrollable behavior, harming oneself and others. This statement emphasizes that, in any situation, maintaining sobriety and self-control is extremely important. This advice highlights the importance of self-discipline and awareness in all situations, including social activities like parties. The lesson here is not just about avoiding alcohol, but also about maintaining dignity, ethics, and self-control in all circumstances to prevent oneself from becoming uncontrollable or self-destructive. Thus, the message from this saying not only makes us aware of the potential dangers of alcohol abuse, but also underscores the importance of developing self-discipline and awareness, which are vital traits in daily life and in building healthy relationships with others. 4. Don't worry about not having a position. Worry about not having the skills to deserve one. The first part, don't worry about not having a position, emphasizes the attitude towards fame and social status. Confucius reminds us that focusing too much or worrying about not holding a certain position is unnecessary. This not only creates undue pressure but also detracts from our freedom, creativity, and ability to grow as we seek knowledge and improve our character. The second part, worry about not having the skills to deserve one, shifts the focus from achieving a position to enhancing personal abilities. The deeper meaning here is that developing skills, knowledge, and character is far more important than pursuing fame and status. This not only helps individuals gain confidence and self-respect in their work and life, but also creates lasting values that transcend the limits of positions and titles. Through this, Confucius conveys the message that what's most important is not the position you hold in society, but whether you are continually improving yourself, enhancing your talents and virtues to deserve higher positions. This approach not only helps individuals create positive change within themselves, but also contributes to the broader development of society. 5. Confucius' 5 Pillars of Wisdom, a guide to comprehensive learning and living. 1. Learn broadly encourages us to expand our knowledge and not limit ourselves to just one area. This not only gives us a comprehensive view of the world around us, but also facilitates the discovery of new information, helping us develop complex thinking and the ability to adapt flexibly to different situations. 2. Ask in detail highlights the importance of asking questions and understanding deeply. This approach allows us not just to passively absorb information, but to actively seek, filter, and deeply comprehend issues, thereby enhancing our critical thinking and analytical skills. 3. Think carefully requires us to consider all aspects of a problem before making a decision. Confucius emphasized the need for thorough evaluation to avoid haste and to think comprehensively to achieve the best outcomes. 4. Distinguish clearly advises that in all situations, we should be able to clearly differentiate right from wrong and good from bad. This requires strong analytical abilities and precise reasoning, helping us avoid unnecessary mistakes. 5. Work with all your might stresses the importance of putting all our energy and passion into achieving our goals. Confucius advised that beyond learning and thinking, we should act decisively and persistently, ensuring that all efforts are focused on obtaining the best possible results. Through these teachings, Confucius conveys a message about the comprehensive nature of learning and applying knowledge, from expanding understanding and actively engaging in deep learning to careful thought, clear differentiation, and vigorous action. This is not only a recipe for success in education, but also a valuable life philosophy in every aspect of life. 6. Knowing you've made a mistake and not fixing it is a mistake in itself. The first part, knowing you've made a mistake, highlights the importance of recognizing errors and shortcomings in your actions or thinking. This awareness is the first step and a crucial condition for any improvement and development process. It requires self-awareness, self-examination, and humility to see yourself truthfully and completely. The second part, and not fixing it is a mistake in itself, emphasizes the consequences of being indifferent and not taking action to correct identified mistakes. Here, the idea is not just about recognizing faults, but also stresses the importance of acting to correct them. This shows that the process of self-improvement doesn't stop at awareness, but also requires initiative and determination to make the necessary changes. Through this teaching, the message conveyed is about continuously striving to enhance one's morals and character. Recognizing and correcting mistakes not only proves maturity and self-improvement, but also shows a sense of responsibility towards oneself and the community. Persisting in correcting mistakes lays the foundation for building a strong character, a peaceful society, and a progressive community. 7. Please do not expect anything in return for your help, as expecting a reward means you have an ulterior motive. When Confucius said, "Please do not expect anything in return," he emphasized that helping others should not be motivated by the desire for personal gain or repayment. This reflects pure compassion and charity, noble qualities that everyone should aspire to. Helping without expecting anything in return shows that the act comes from a genuine and kind heart, not mixed with any selfish intentions. In the part about expecting a reward means you have an ulterior motive, Confucius warns against having a calculating mindset in social relationships and in assisting others. When good deeds are done with the hope of receiving benefits, their purity is lost and can be seen as a form of selfishness or manipulation. This not only diminishes the true value of helping, but can also negatively impact relationships, weakening trust and human connection. Through these teachings, Confucius advises that everyone should cultivate a spirit of selflessness, helping others without expecting anything in return, viewing it as a natural part of life and a path to moral development. This not only helps build a caring and warm society, but also allows individuals to grow and lead meaningful and valuable lives. 8. Choosing integrity over short-term gains. Lessons from Confucius on ethical living. If you see a chance to benefit, don't get involved. Advises that when faced with opportunities that might bring personal gain, especially if those benefits are unfair or undeserved, we should restrain ourselves and not partake. This requires a high level of self-awareness and the ability to control oneself against temptation, protecting our dignity and life principles. Dipping your hands in darkness clouds the mind, warns about the psychological and moral consequences when we choose to pursue benefits in unhealthy ways. This action not only compromises our own value and honor, but also sows seeds of regret and guilt into our souls, gradually darkening our conscience and thoughts. Through this teaching, Confucius emphasizes the importance of living ethically and with self-respect in every decision and action. This not only helps build a fair and healthy society, but also helps individuals maintain inner peace and tranquility, which are the solid foundations for sustainable development and true happiness in life. 9. People without integrity will not succeed. People without integrity refers to individuals who lack honesty and reliability in their words and actions. In any relationship, from personal to professional, trust is a crucial foundation. It not only helps build respect and personal reputation, but also forms the basis for developing lasting relationships and career success. Will not succeed reflects the consequences of lacking integrity. Without others' trust, all efforts and plans might become meaningless, as no one is willing to cooperate or support someone who is untrustworthy. This deficiency not only hinders that individual in achieving their goals and success, but also creates an invisible barrier in building positive relationships with others. Through this, Confucius emphasizes that integrity is not just a personal virtue, but also a critical element for success and growth in life. Trust and honesty not only make a person admired and respected, but also open the door to opportunities and collaborations, serving as the key to expanding influence and achieving significant goals. 10. Silence is a true friend that never betrays. The first part, silence is a true friend, highlights the value of silence. In our noisy and busy world, silence not only provides us with space to reflect and listen to ourselves, but also serves as a source of inspiration and mental strength. Silence helps us shake off external disturbances, regain focus and clarity, and develop our thoughts and emotions deeply and authentically. The second part, and it never betrays, continues to affirm the value of silence by pointing out its stability and reliability. Unlike words that can change and be misunderstood, silence is an unwavering part of ourselves, a source of internal strength always ready to support us without demanding or judging. It is a solid foundation for confidence and inner freedom, helping us overcome any challenge without fear of harm or abandonment. Through this, Confucius reminds us that in a life full of changes and uncertainties, silence is a precious spiritual resource, a patient and loyal companion that helps us maintain our soul and confidently move forward on the path to finding truth and meaning in life. 11. Loyalty and sincerity are among the most noble qualities. Loyalty refers to being consistent and steadfast in your commitments or promises to others. This trait shows reliability and worth, and is essential for building strong relationships, whether personal, familial, or within a community and society. Loyalty also reflects respect and value for others, proving love and genuine care. Sincerity means being honest and open in all your actions and words. Being sincere not only deepens and enriches relationships, but also lays the foundation for trust and mutual understanding. When someone acts with sincerity, they put their heart into everything they do, creating strong connections between souls, thus fostering personal and community growth. By combining loyalty and sincerity, Confucius emphasized that these are not just precious personal traits, but also critical building blocks for creating a peaceful, fair, and prosperous society. In any situation, maintaining loyalty and sincerity is the highest act, allowing each individual to not only live a meaningful life, but also contribute to making the world a better place. 12. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you never stop. The first part, it doesn't matter how slow you go, emphasizes that speed is not the determining factor in achieving success or personal growth. Even if you progress slowly, as long as you continue moving forward, that's what counts. This teaches us not to compare our speed with others, as everyone has their own path and rate of development. The second part, as long as you never stop, reinforces the idea that perseverance and not giving up are key to overcoming challenges and achieving goals. Even when faced with difficulties and obstacles, continuing to move forward is a sign of inner strength and resolute will. This encourages us to keep trying, keep learning, and keep growing, no matter what challenges may come. Through these teachings, Confucius conveys to us that in life, patience and steady progress are far more important than quick results. The key is to never give up on your dreams and goals, no matter how many difficulties and trials you face. This is a lesson about the importance of perseverance and the power of an unyielding spirit, a philosophy of life worth reflecting on and embracing. 13. Losing trust in friends is even more embarrassing than being deceived by them. The first part, losing trust in friends, reflects a situation where someone feels they can no longer trust their friends. This loss of trust is not only due to deception, but also from doubts and a lack of mutual trust. This highlights how crucial it is to maintain trust in any relationship and that it should be valued above all else. The second part is even more embarrassing than being deceived by them, emphasizes that the emotional impact of losing trust is even more severe than the act of being deceived itself. When trust is broken, it not only damages the relationship but deeply hurts one's self-esteem and faith in the goodness of people. This teaches us that preserving trust and sincerity in relationships is essential for building a healthy and happy society. Through this teaching, Confucius wants to underline the importance of building and protecting trust in friendships. Trust is not only the foundation of a strong relationship, but also a reflection of mutual respect and affection. Losing trust for whatever reason means losing a vital part of that relationship, and the consequences can lead to deep embarrassment and hurt far greater than being deceived.
Hey everyone, your comments truly matter, offering insights and motivation to others and uplifting our creative team at Lighthouse of Wisdom channel. Sharing your thoughts and experiences enriches our community. So, let's get the conversation started below and help illuminate our path with your wisdom.
14. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. The first part, everything has beauty, asserts a positive worldview where every object and phenomenon, no matter how small, contains its own unique value and beauty. This requires us to open our hearts and be sensitive in our perceptions and judgments, so we don't miss the subtle beauties around us. The second part, but not everyone sees it, emphasizes that recognizing beauty isn't always easy or natural for everyone. This reflects differences in perspectives, education, and life experiences, and suggests that appreciating beauty requires practice, reflection, and openness. Through this saying, Confucius encourages us to develop our abilities to observe, feel, and appreciate even the smallest beauties in life, thereby enriching our spirits and experiences. This not only enriches us individually but also contributes to a society filled with respect and love. It is a lesson about expanding our hearts and enhancing our capacity to enjoy beauty, an important aspect of living a spiritually rich life. 15. The greatest warriors are those who conquer themselves. The first part, the greatest warriors are those who conquer themselves, highlights the idea that the biggest challenges we face are not external obstacles, but rather the conflicts, temptations, and limits within ourselves. Overcoming these challenges requires ongoing self-awareness, self-reflection, and self-improvement, which build mental strength and the ability to control our actions and thoughts. The second part, are those who conquer themselves, asserts that when someone can control and overcome their inner struggles, they become the strongest individuals. This strength isn't just physical but also mental. It enables a person to face and conquer every barrier, temptation, and difficulty in life. This kind of strength provides a solid foundation for personal growth, helping individuals achieve their goals and lead a meaningful, happy life. This teaching by Confucius emphasizes that learning to control oneself and overcoming internal challenges is the most crucial step in becoming a strong and well-rounded individual. Mental strength and autonomy are not only key to overcoming external difficulties, but are also essential for personal development and success. 16. Don't always expect others to agree with you. If everyone always agrees with you, it might make you arrogant. The first part, don't always expect others to agree with you, highlights the idea of independence and not relying on others' approval or acceptance. This advice isn't just about maintaining dignity and autonomy in social relationships. It's also about building a resilient spirit that isn't swayed by other people's opinions and actions. This concept encourages the development of personal independence and the ability to make decisions for oneself as the foundation of true happiness and growth. The second part, if everyone always agrees with you, it might make you arrogant, warns about the risk of becoming arrogant when constantly pampered and agreed with by others. Arrogance can erode humility, an important virtue, and can prevent personal growth by building a barrier between oneself and reality, and between oneself and learning from others. The message encourages us to remain open to learning, keeping our hearts and minds open to the diverse perspectives of the world, which fosters comprehensive personal development. Through this teaching, the intention is to make us aware that in relationships and in personal development, humility and a willingness to learn are key to achieving genuine success and happiness. At the same time, this advice emphasizes the importance of maintaining mental independence and avoiding reliance on others' approval, thus nurturing a strong spirit and a well-rounded character. 17. Choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. The first part of the statement, choose a job you love, encourages each of us to seek out and pursue a job that we are passionate about and enjoy. This is important not only for finding happiness and satisfaction in our work, but also highlights how such a job can help us grow personally, explore our potential, and contribute to society. From the perspective of Confucius, work is not just a means to make a living but a way to express oneself and achieve personal fulfillment. The second part, you'll never have to work a day in your life, goes beyond just avoiding the burden of labor. It reveals a profound truth that when you do what you love, every day is filled with meaning and joy, not burdens or obligations, but part of a fulfilling life journey. When your job is your passion, feelings of fatigue or boredom disappear. Instead, there is excitement, creativity, and a continuous drive to improve. Through this advice, Confucius conveys the importance of choosing a career that aligns with your passions and abilities. This not only helps individuals achieve happiness and satisfaction, but also maximizes their potential, contributes to society, and makes the world a better place. In this process, learning, striving, and continual self-improvement are key to success and contentment in both career and life. 18. Find a small candle and light it up instead of sitting there cursing the darkness. The first part, find a small candle and light it up, symbolizes the search for and implementation of a positive solution to a problem. Instead of accepting the current situation or being passive in the face of difficulties, we are encouraged to actively seek a way out, even if it is a small one, to enlighten and dissolve the darkness. This emphasizes the importance of taking action and having a positive mindset, encouraging creativity and perseverance in problem solving. The second part, instead of sitting there cursing the darkness, criticizes a negative, helpless attitude towards difficulties and challenges. Confucius, through this statement, wants to emphasize that complaining, criticizing, or blaming cannot solve problems but only leads to negative moods and drains the energy needed to find solutions. Instead, we should focus on what we can do, no matter how small, to improve the situation. Through this advice, Confucius conveys a message about the importance of maintaining a positive and proactive attitude in life. Every action, no matter how small, can create significant change, helping us overcome the darkness of disappointment and challenges. This is a lesson about the power of hope and action, encouraging each of us not only to seek light for ourselves, but also to brighten the path for others, contributing to a better and fairer society. 19. Embracing challenges. The path to resilience and growth in your career. 1. Don't expect a career path to be smooth and easy. Begins by rejecting the idea of an obstacle-free career path. Confucius here isn't just predicting inevitable difficulties, but is emphasizing the importance of accepting and preparing to face them. He wants to show that encountering challenges is unavoidable in any career and is an opportunity to learn and grow. 2. Because without encountering thorns, one's resolve won't be strong. Explains why challenges should not be avoided. Without experiencing hardships, people cannot understand the value of patience, courage, and determination. Thorns are not just barriers, but are also means to forge and prove one's mettle. Resilience is not a natural trait, but is the outcome of facing and overcoming difficulties. Through this advice, Confucius wants to convey that on the journey of pursuing a career and dreams, people should not seek ease or avoid challenges. Instead, we should view each difficulty as a chance to learn, develop ourselves, and become stronger. Resilience and the will to overcome hardships are not just crucial for achieving success in one's career, but are also ways to become the best version of oneself, leading a meaningful and valuable life. 20. Planting seeds of growth. Lessons on achieving goals across time horizons. If your goal is to achieve something within a year, start by planting a seed. This highlights the importance of taking immediate, concrete action to reach short-term goals. A seed symbolizes a beginning, representing the essential small steps needed to aim for a goal. If your timeline extends to 10 years, plant a tree. This advice shifts focus to medium-term goals where patience and continuous care can lead to lasting results. Planting a tree requires not just patience but also nurturing, reflecting a process of growth and development over time. Lastly, if your vision spans a century, teach the people. This emphasizes the crucial role of education and imparting knowledge and values to future generations. This is not just a long-term goal, but also a wish for the sustainable and holistic development of society. Educating people helps them become wise and resilient, ensuring that values, knowledge, and ethics are preserved and advanced through generations. This advice from Confucius underscores the importance of setting goals appropriate to your time and abilities, and it encourages investing in education and human development. This not only aids personal growth but also contributes to the long-term progress and peace of society. Teaching and learning are ongoing processes that demand patience, dedication, and a far-reaching vision. 21. A person of talent and virtue acts first and speaks based on their actions. The first part, a person of talent and virtue acts first and speaks, emphasizes the importance of taking action before speaking. In this view, Confucius highlights the value of accomplishing tasks and demonstrating abilities through actions rather than just words. This approach shows respect for truth and effectiveness, as actions clearly prove one's intentions and capabilities. According to Confucius, a truly talented and virtuous person understands that real value lies in completing tasks, not just in discussing or promising them. The second part, and speaks based on their actions, reflects the principles of integrity and accountability. Here, Confucius encourages being proactive and honest in reporting and sharing what has been accomplished. This not only helps build trust and personal credibility, but also affirms the value of walking the talk, establishing a solid foundation for both personal and professional relationships. This saying by Confucius is also a reminder to lay a strong foundation for all decisions and actions in life. By practicing before speaking, individuals not only affirm themselves through tangible achievements but also contribute to building a society based on respect, trust, and mutual support. This lesson teaches humility and self-respect, educating people on the value of speaking less and doing more, and guiding them on how to live and work in the most meaningful and effective way. 22. When wealth is concentrated, the people are scattered. When wealth is distributed, the people are brought together. The first part, when wealth is concentrated, describes a situation where a small portion of the population holds most of the society's resources and wealth. In this state, wealth is in the hands of a few, leading to significant disparities in wealth and opportunities among different social classes. This creates a large gap between the rich and the poor, weakening social unity and causing deep divisions. The second part, when wealth is distributed, the people are brought together, presents an ideal vision of a fair and equal society where wealth is reasonably and fairly distributed. In this society, every individual has access to resources and opportunities for growth, contributing to the community's overall prosperity. Fair distribution of resources and wealth helps build a united society where people feel connected and share with each other, reducing disparities and conflicts. Through this teaching, Confucius emphasizes the importance of maintaining fairness and equality in society. Fair distribution of wealth is not just an economic principle, but also a moral one, ensuring the harmonious and sustainable development of society. This contributes to creating a stable and happy living environment for everyone, laying the foundation for the prosperity and progress of humanity. 23. Provide guidance to those seeking knowledge after they have realized their own lack of understanding. The first part of the sentence, provide guidance to those seeking knowledge, emphasizes the role of a teacher as not only a provider of knowledge but also a guide, motivator, and supporter of students in their self-discovery and learning process. This requires the teacher to have extensive knowledge and patience, ready to accompany students on their journey of knowledge seeking, not just teaching, but also listening and understanding. The second part, after they have realized their own lack of understanding, highlights a deep meaning about the process of self-awareness and reflection. Confucius valued the need for learners to recognize their own limitations and desire to expand their knowledge before receiving guidance. This awareness forms a solid foundation for learning, as when people realize what they do not know, they are more open and genuine in embracing new knowledge. Through this advice, Confucius wants to convey the importance of being proactive in learning and self-improvement. Learners are not merely recipients of knowledge, but must also be active seekers, reflectors, and open to receiving guidance. The teacher, on their part, must wait until the learner is ready to begin the process of imparting knowledge, ensuring that it is received meaningfully and profoundly. 24. Filial piety is the foundation of morality. Filial piety, as defined by Confucius, is not just about blindly respecting and serving one's parents, but is an expression of gratitude, deep respect, and love for one's parents and ancestors. It reflects an awareness and appreciation of one's origins and nature, which then extends to respecting and loving others in the community and society. According to Confucius, the roots of morality come from the heart and soul of each individual, where filial piety is nurtured and grows. When filial piety becomes an integral part of a person, it naturally evolves into other moral virtues such as loyalty, fairness, kindness, and sincerity. Therefore, filial piety is not only a basic moral virtue, but also the starting point for developing and enhancing an individual's entire ethical framework. Through this idea, Confucius emphasizes that nurturing and practicing filial piety is the most fundamental way to develop oneself and build a moral, peaceful society. Morality begins with the simplest and most familiar things, and from there, it spreads and influences all aspects of life and society. Thus, filial piety is not just a family obligation, but also a social responsibility, an essential part of forming and maintaining a moral and civilized community. 25. When a title doesn't align with the truth, words fail to make sense. The first part, when a title doesn't align with the truth, refers to when a name, title, or label is inaccurate or does not truly reflect the nature or status of a person or thing in society. In Confucian philosophy, this is considered a serious issue because inaccuracies in naming can lead to misunderstandings, confusion, and disruption in social relationships and moral order. The second part, words fail to make sense, describes the natural consequence of inaccurate naming. Communication and actions based on incorrect understandings will fail to achieve their intended goals. When names and reality do not match, any words and actions based on those misunderstandings become ineffective and do not produce positive results. Confucius emphasized the importance of rectification of names, which means ensuring that every person, object, and action in society is recognized and evaluated accurately. This not only helps maintain social order and harmony, but also encourages individuals to live and act authentically and correctly, according to their roles and responsibilities. Through the saying, "When a title doesn't align with the truth, words fail to make sense," Confucius underscores the importance of maintaining consistency between names and reality, between words and actions, as a foundation for moral development and social order. Accuracy and authenticity in all aspects of life not only help individuals develop holistically, but also contribute to creating a harmonious, fair, and thriving society. 26. Use it, don't doubt it, don't use it. The first part, use it, don't doubt it, advises that once we decide to trust and use a resource, a tool, or someone, we should maintain that trust and not let doubt creep in. Doubting after deciding to use something can create an unstable and inefficient work environment, making it difficult to achieve goals and leading to a loss of trust between parties. The second part, doubt it, don't use it, emphasizes that if we have doubts about the effectiveness, ethics, or suitability of a resource, tool, or individual, we should avoid using or relying on it until all doubts are resolved. This helps prevent mistakes that can arise from lack of trust or incorrect information. Through this advice, Confucius wants to convey the importance of building and maintaining trust. In all relationships, whether in business, management, or personal life, keeping trust and avoiding unnecessary doubt is key to achieving harmony and success. Doubt not only weakens relationships, but also hinders development and efficiency in all activities. At the same time, Confucius also stresses the use of reason and sound judgment before making decisions, thereby building a solid foundation for all future actions and choices. In any situation, applying the principle of use it, don't doubt it, don't use it, will guide people towards the right choices and foster a trustworthy and positive environment. 27. When it comes to our bodies, we shouldn't desire to be completely free of ailments, as being perfectly healthy can lead to increased desires. The first part, when it comes to our bodies, we shouldn't desire to be completely free of ailments, encourages us not to overly focus on physical perfection to the extent that we overlook the valuable lessons that imperfections can teach us. In some philosophical traditions, challenges, including illnesses, are seen as opportunities to develop virtues such as patience, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation for life and health. The second part, as being perfectly healthy can lead to increased desires, warns about the risks of focusing too much on health and appearance and neglecting the cultivation of the soul. In a state of physical perfection, people can become complacent, forget the value of humility and self-control, leading to the growth of desires and other urges that can disrupt balance and harmony in life. This saying suggests that the pursuit of physical health should not be separated from the development and cultivation of moral and spiritual qualities. Physical health is important, but it should not be seen as the ultimate goal, but as a means to support the holistic development of a person, including their soul and morals. This emphasizes the importance of seeking balance and harmony between the physical and the spiritual, between health and virtues, to achieve a meaningful and enriched life. 28. Before they die, birds sing a mournful song, while humans speak kind words. The first part, before they die, birds sing a mournful song, paints a picture of life in the natural world, where life and death occur naturally and inevitably. The mournful song of a bird before death can be understood as the final expression of life, an unconscious reaction to the inevitable end. The second part, humans speak kind words before they die, reflects on human nature and moral capability. Even in their final moments, people have the ability to express kindness, morality, and awareness of their own value and that of others. This shows that, unlike other creatures, humans can reflect on life, morality, and death, and maintain their moral values until the end. This saying conveys a message about the value of morality and goodness in human life. No matter the circumstances, even in the last moments, people can and should express their highest values. This not only highlights the difference between humans and the natural world, but also emphasizes the importance of living a meaningful life filled with morality and goodness. Thus, through this saying, we are reminded of the value and significance of living a good life, as well as the importance of maintaining and expressing good moral qualities until the end of our days. This is a powerful message about the strength of the human spirit and ethics, and a reminder to focus on and cultivate these values throughout our lives. 29. Focusing on small advantages can hinder the completion of bigger tasks. A true historical example from ancient China involves Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, who had a far-sighted vision to unify the warring states and build a strong empire. Instead of just concentrating on small, isolated victories on the battlefield, Qin Shi Huang implemented a grand plan that included administrative reforms, unification of laws, measurements, currency, and even the construction of the Great Wall. These initiatives not only provided immediate benefits but also laid a solid foundation for the country's long-term development. This story shows that focusing on larger goals, overcoming the temptation of minor benefits, is key to achieving great success. This is true not only in history but in all areas of modern life. 30. Do not do unto others what you do not like. The beginning of the phrase, what you do not like, refers to recognizing and being aware of behaviors, words, or decisions that you find uncomfortable, undesirable, or negative. Here, Confucius advises each person to acknowledge their own emotions and limits, thereby fostering an understanding and respect for others. The latter part, do not do unto others, offers advice on applying this understanding and respect through action by consciously avoiding causing discomfort or harm to others. This is an expression of fair and compassionate treatment, a crucial criterion in building healthy and harmonious relationships within the community. Through this teaching, Confucius not only emphasizes the importance of acting rightly and kindly towards others, but also encourages self-awareness and self-control. By practicing this principle, individuals not only improve their relationships with those around them, but also contribute to creating a fair, grateful, and respectful society. In summary, "Do not do unto others what you do not like" reflects the importance of self-awareness and kindness in communication and social relations. This is not just advice on how to live, but also a moral philosophy, an essential part of building and maintaining a peaceful and thriving society. 31. Embracing knowledge, compassion, and courage. Lessons from Confucius on living a fulfilled life. 1. With knowledge, there is no doubt emphasizes the importance of learning and accumulating knowledge. According to Confucius, knowledge not only helps solve specific issues, but also reduces doubt and confusion in thinking. When a person is well versed in a subject, they are more confident in their decisions and less swayed by opposing opinions or inaccurate information. Knowledge illuminates the mind, dispels obscurity, and broadens perspectives. 2. With compassion, there is no worry, reflects Confucius's view on compassion, one of the noblest virtues that one should strive for. Compassion, or kindness and understanding towards others, helps alleviate worries about conflicts and discord. When a person lives with compassion, they create harmonious relationships with those around them, reducing stress and fostering a peaceful spirit. 3. With courage, there is no fear, speaks to the power of bravery in facing fears and challenges. Courage is not about the absence of fear, but the ability to confront and overcome it. Confucius valued courage as a significant virtue that prevents individuals from being overwhelmed by fear, allowing them to act rightly and uphold moral values. Through this saying, Confucius aims to highlight that personal growth depends not just on knowledge, but also on compassion and bravery. These three elements together form a well-rounded individual capable of living a meaningful life, overcoming doubt, anxiety, and fear, and striving for peace and happiness. 32. Everyone has the right to education, regardless of their background. The belief that everyone has the right to education, regardless of their background, reflects a fundamental principle that all individuals, no matter their origin, social status, gender, or any other condition, should have equal opportunities to access education. This is not only a declaration of rights, but also a call to action to build a fairer society where education is seen as the most important tool for empowerment and improvement. According to the philosophy of Confucius, education is not only about imparting knowledge, but also about shaping moral values and critical thinking. He valued learning not just for the sake of knowledge, but for the development of character and the ability to independently contribute to society. This reflects the idea that education should aim to develop a well-rounded individual who can positively contribute to the community. The perspective of no discrimination in education also reflects Confucius's views on fairness and equality. In a society influenced by Confucianism, every individual, regardless of their status, is encouraged and supported to develop themselves, contributing to overall harmony and prosperity. This enables not only individual development, but also the progress of the entire community, promoting social advancement and peace. Thus, the idea that everyone has the right to education without discrimination is not only a basic moral principle, but also an essential requirement for the sustainable progress and development of society. This also mirrors Confucius's vision of a world where education plays a central role in forming and maintaining a just, harmonious, and thriving society. 33. Whenever you feel angry, think about the consequences. According to Confucius, anger not only robs us of our calm, and ability to make wise decisions, but can also lead to actions and choices that we might later regret. Therefore, when you feel angry, it's important to pause and consider the consequences of your next actions, as Confucius advised. The phrase, "whenever you feel angry," reminds us that emotions are an inevitable part of daily life. Emotions are a natural part of being human, but how we respond to them is within our control. The following advice, "think about the consequences," is a reminder to be mindful and self-disciplined. Confucius believed that every action has consequences, and thinking ahead about these can help us avoid rash and wrong decisions. This not only protects us from negative outcomes, but also helps maintain harmony and respect in our relationships with others. Through this advice, Confucius wanted to convey the importance of controlling our emotions and acting responsibly. This is not just a part of personal moral development, but also essential for building a peaceful and just society where people live together with respect and understanding. 34. Those who fail to plan ahead will inevitably face immediate troubles. The first part, "those who fail to plan ahead," highlights an attitude or behavior that neglects planning for the future or anticipating potential difficulties and challenges. This is a limitation as it leaves individuals unprepared for unexpected events, resulting in a poor response to adverse situations. The second part, "will inevitably face immediate troubles," is the natural consequence of lacking preparation or foresight. By not worrying about the future and failing to prepare for possible hardships, people often encounter unexpected problems and distress, which decreases their problem-solving capabilities and affects their peace of mind. Through this, Confucius emphasizes that planning and anticipating the future is not only a smart strategy to minimize risks and distress, but also an essential part of living a meaningful and autonomous life. This encourages us to always look ahead and prepare well for any possible situation, thus enhancing our ability to cope and reducing unwelcome surprises in life. 35. When you love something, it means you want it to live. The beginning, "when you love something," describes the state of the soul when a person gives their heart to an object, another person, or an idea. Love here is not just about liking or temporary joy, but about a deep commitment, an unshakable bond where the human soul merges with the existence of what they cherish. The latter part, "means you want it to live," expands this idea by emphasizing the desire and determination of the lover to protect, nurture, and promote the life and growth of the beloved. This not only shows care and attention, but also expresses a noble ethical principle. All actions and thoughts are directed towards the prosperity and happiness of the loved one. Thus, through this teaching, we learn that true love requires sacrifice, tireless care, and a strong desire for the life of the loved one. Love, according to Confucius, is an eternal inspiration for goodness and a powerful force for all creation and preservation in the world. 36. If you want to have everything, you must let go of everything. The first part of the saying, "if you want to have everything," suggests a deep yearning or desire to possess all that one can imagine: wealth, power, knowledge, or happiness. In life, it's natural to have desires, but they often lead to dissatisfaction because the more we have, the more we want. The second part, "you must let go of everything," implies that to truly achieve fulfillment and peace, one must release the grip on these desires. Letting go doesn't mean giving up possessions or not pursuing goals, but rather not being controlled by these pursuits or the outcomes. It is about experiencing life as it is, without excessive attachment to any idea or outcome. The lesson here is about finding balance and contentment. When we detach from specific outcomes, we open ourselves to experiencing life more fully and responding to its natural flow. This approach can lead to peace and a deeper sense of satisfaction, as we are no longer caught in the endless cycle of desire and disappointment. 37. If you understand that all things change, then you should not cling to any possession. This saying emphasizes the inherent nature of impermanence in the universe. The first part, if you understand that all things change, reflects the Taoist principle that everything in the natural world is constantly evolving and transforming. Nothing remains static. Recognizing this constant flow of change is crucial to understanding the Tao, the way. The second part, then you should not cling to any possession, advises us against attachment to material things, status, or even specific outcomes. In Taoism, excessive attachment is seen as a source of suffering and distraction from the true path. When we cling to what is inevitably changing, we set ourselves up for disappointment and pain because these things will eventually pass or transform beyond our control. Applying this lesson in life means embracing flexibility and adaptability. By not clinging to possessions or fixed ideas, we can better navigate the challenges and changes life presents without undue stress. This approach fosters inner peace and resilience, allowing us to live in harmony with the ever-changing world around us. 38. He who conquers others invites chaos. He who conquers himself invites peace. The first part, he who conquers others invites chaos, emphasizes the turmoil and disorder that arise from seeking power over others. When one focuses on surpassing others, this often leads to conflict, resentment, and societal disruption. This teaches us the lesson that striving for dominance or control over others can disrupt harmony and balance within a community. The second part, he who conquers himself invites peace, highlights the importance of self-mastery. Conquering oneself means to control one's desires, impulses, and emotions. It involves a deep understanding and discipline to act according to wisdom rather than fleeting desires. By mastering oneself, an individual achieves inner peace, which naturally extends to external relations, promoting harmony and understanding in interactions with others. The lesson from this saying is clear. True power and peace come not from conquering others, but from mastering oneself. In our daily lives, we should focus on self-improvement and inner peace rather than competing with others. This approach not only brings personal contentment, but also contributes to a peaceful and cooperative society. 39. To understand others is wise. To understand oneself is true wisdom. This saying can be divided into two parts. The first part, to understand others is wise, speaks to the value of empathy and social awareness. It implies that being able to see things from another's perspective or to grasp the emotions and thoughts of others is a sign of intelligence. This understanding helps us navigate social interactions and build meaningful relationships, which are essential for a harmonious life. The second part, to understand oneself is true wisdom, goes deeper, emphasizing self-awareness. This is the foundation of true wisdom because it involves knowing your own strengths, weaknesses, desires, and fears. It is an introspective journey that requires honesty and courage. By understanding ourselves, we can make better decisions, regulate our emotions, and achieve a more peaceful state of being. The lesson from this saying is that while it is beneficial to understand others, the ultimate path to wisdom and fulfillment comes through understanding oneself. In practical terms, this means regularly reflecting on our actions and motivations, seeking feedback, and being open to change. This self-understanding leads to self-mastery, which is the essence of a truly wise and fulfilled life. 40. Without confrontation, demons naturally disappear as follows. 1. Without confrontation. This part teaches us about the power of non-resistance. In life, when we stop fighting against circumstances or opposing others aggressively, we often find that the problems we face begin to solve themselves. This approach does not mean giving up or showing weakness, but rather choosing to act with gentleness and understanding. It's about finding a way to flow with life rather than pushing against it. 2. Demons naturally disappear. Here, demons can be interpreted as the inner fears, conflicts, or troubles we experience. When we stop confronting these issues with force and start addressing them with calmness and clarity, these demons often lose their power over us. They dissipate, much like how darkness fades away with the light of dawn. Life lesson. This saying advises us to approach life's challenges with a mindset of peace and acceptance. By reducing hostility and embracing tranquility, we allow space for solutions and healing to emerge. It teaches us the power of letting go, encouraging us to handle conflicts with wisdom rather than force, which in turn can lead to a more harmonious life. 41. Whoever wants to prove themselves will not know who they are. The first part, whoever wants to prove themselves, suggests a person's desire to demonstrate their worth or identity to others. This often involves outward actions and validations, focusing on how others perceive them. It is a natural inclination in human society to seek acceptance and acknowledgement from our peers. The second part of the saying, will not know who they are, points to the irony and futility of seeking self-definition through external means. When one's focus is on proving oneself to others, the true understanding of one's nature and essence can become obscured. This reflects the Taoist principle of wu wei, or non-action, which advocates for naturalness and spontaneity over forced efforts and contrivance. The lesson here is profound, yet simple. True self-awareness and authenticity arise not from striving to show the world who we are, but from introspection and embracing our natural self. It suggests that by letting go of the need to validate ourselves in the eyes of others, we can better understand our true nature and live more harmoniously within the Tao, or the fundamental nature of the universe. 42. Good beginnings often disguise themselves as tragic endings. This proverb reflects a profound understanding of the cyclical nature of life's events. It teaches us that what appears initially may not reveal the full truth of the situation. In the Taoist perspective, the world is filled with paradoxes. Things that seem contradictory on the surface often contain hidden depths. The first part, good beginnings, suggests that situations often start with promise and potential. This represents hope and the positive possibilities that initiate any endeavor. However, life is unpredictable and change is constant. What starts well may not always continue on the same path. The phrase, often disguise themselves as tragic endings, warns us that outcomes might not always align with beginnings. A good start does not guarantee success, just as initial struggles do not doom one to failure. It is a reminder not to become complacent or overly confident, but to remain vigilant and adaptive. From this, we can learn to embrace flexibility in our lives. We should not judge situations solely by how they begin or end, but see each experience as part of a larger journey. This acceptance helps us to maintain peace of mind and resilience, understanding that fortunes can turn and that each phase of life serves a purpose in our growth and understanding. 43. Let things flow naturally. The first part, let things flow, encourages us to not force situations or exert excessive control. In practice, this means stepping back and observing events as they unfold, rather than trying to manipulate them. This approach reduces stress and allows one to respond to life's changes with flexibility and calmness. The second part, naturally, highlights the value of authenticity and spontaneity. It reminds us to embrace things as they are without pretense or artificiality. This can lead to a more genuine and fulfilling experience of life, as one is not constantly battling against the natural course of events. The lesson to be drawn from this saying is that when we stop trying to control every aspect of our lives and instead trust in the natural progression of things, we often find that solutions emerge on their own. This approach can lead to greater peace of mind, resilience, and a deeper connection with the world around us. By practicing this philosophy, we learn to navigate life's complexities with greater ease and wisdom. 44. Softness overcomes hardness. Stillness overcomes movement. The first part, softness overcomes hardness. This teaches us the value of flexibility and gentleness in overcoming obstacles. In life, rigidness often leads to breakage or failure, while softness, like water flowing around rocks, finds a path forward without confrontation. The lesson here is to approach difficulties with adaptability and calm, rather than with force or aggression. The second part, stillness overcomes movement. This emphasizes the power of calmness and patience in a world full of noise and haste. Just as a calm pond reflects the clearest image, a tranquil mind can see situations more clearly and respond with wisdom. The practical application of this is to cultivate inner peace and patience, allowing you to act from a place of clarity rather than react impulsively. In daily life, embracing these teachings means choosing to respond to challenges with a soft and steady demeanor. By practicing flexibility and stillness, we can navigate life's complexities with grace and effectiveness, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. 45. If one wishes to contract, first let it expand. If one wishes to give up, first allow it to flourish. If one wishes to take, first one must give. If one wishes to contract, first let it expand. This means that often in life, before achieving a state of simplicity or reduction, one must first experience and embrace its opposite. It's similar to drawing back a bow to provide the power to propel an arrow forward. Lesson: allow processes to unfold naturally, experiencing them fully before seeking to change or control them. If one wishes to give up, first allow it to flourish. This suggests that before you decide to relinquish something, be it a job, a relationship, or a personal goal, you should first give it your full effort and let it reach its potential. Only then can you truly understand its value and make an informed decision about letting it go. Lesson: fully engage with your commitments and desires to understand their true worth before deciding to abandon them. If one wishes to take, first one must give. This part teaches the principle of reciprocity. To receive kindness, support, or material gain, one must first be generous in giving these things to others. Lesson: cultivate generosity and openness, as what you give often returns to you, often in unexpected and meaningful ways. These teachings encourage a life of balance, patience, and understanding, reminding us that our actions and intentions are deeply interconnected with the world around us. 46. If one can realize that they lack nothing, the whole world belongs to them. The first part, if one can realize that they lack nothing, speaks to the concept of self-sufficiency and inner completeness. Laozi taught that true satisfaction does not come from external possessions or status, but from a profound understanding and acceptance of oneself. Realizing that you lack nothing is about recognizing that your true nature is enough without needing to seek fulfillment through external means. The second part of the saying, "The whole world belongs to them," is a metaphorical expression rather than a literal one. It suggests that when one is content with themselves and no longer driven by insatiable desires, they live in harmony with the world. This person is free from the chains of craving and competition, thus experiencing a sense of unity with everything around them. The lesson here is profound yet practical. By cultivating a sense of completeness and contentment within ourselves, we can live more peacefully and harmoniously. When we stop chasing what we think we lack, we realize we are already part of the vast richness of life. This mindset not only brings personal peace, but also fosters a compassionate and understanding attitude towards others. 47. A wise person knows what they do not know. Firstly, the phrase "a wise person" refers to someone who possesses not just knowledge but the wisdom to understand the limitations of their own knowledge. Wisdom, in this context, is the ability to recognize one's ignorance without shame or pride. This humility is the first step towards true wisdom. The second part, "knows what they do not know," emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and wisdom. It isn't merely about accumulating facts or learning. It's about understanding the gaps in one's knowledge. This understanding compels a wise person to be open-minded and continually seek new learning and experiences. The practical lesson here is profound yet simple. Always remain a student in the school of life. Embrace the fact that no matter how much you know, there is always more to learn. This openness not only enriches your life, but also encourages a continuous journey of personal and intellectual growth. By acknowledging what you do not know, you open doors to new opportunities and deeper understanding. 48. Focusing on others' recognition, then one will become a prisoner of themselves. Focusing on others' recognition. This implies an excessive concern with how others view us, often leading to actions and choices designed not for personal fulfillment, but to please others. It is a reminder that when one overly prioritizes external validation, they may stray from their true nature and values. Then one will become a prisoner of themselves. This vividly illustrates the consequence of living for others' approval. By allowing the opinions of others to dictate one's actions, one becomes trapped in a cycle of seeking approval, which can constrain personal growth and freedom. The lesson here is to focus more on cultivating self-awareness and living according to one's own principles and values. By doing so, one achieves a greater sense of freedom and self-satisfaction. This doesn't mean disregarding the opinions of others entirely, but rather ensuring that they do not overpower one's sense of self and lead to a life not authentically lived. 49. Formless and shapeless is the utmost bliss. Formless and shapeless. This phrase emphasizes the importance of not being confined by external appearances or material forms. In Taoism, the ultimate reality is perceived as formless, transcending the tangible and the defined. By embracing a formless perspective, one can align with the Tao, the fundamental nature of the universe, which is beyond any specific form or structure. Is the utmost bliss. This suggests that true happiness and peace come from transcending the superficial and material aspects of the world. When one lets go of attachments to physical forms and societal labels, a deeper sense of contentment and serenity is attained. The lesson here is to focus less on material possessions and superficial appearances. Instead, seek to understand and appreciate the underlying essence of things and people. By reducing our attachments to form, we open ourselves to a more profound, peaceful existence that is aligned with the natural flow of life, thereby achieving true bliss. 50. Those who heedlessly obey and recklessly promise will inevitably struggle to keep their commitments. Firstly, those who heedlessly obey refers to individuals who agree to demands or instructions without thoughtful consideration. This often leads to commitments made in haste, without fully understanding the implications or whether one truly has the capacity to fulfill them. In life, it is important to reflect and consider carefully before agreeing to anything that demands your time and resources. Doing so prevents situations where you might find yourself overwhelmed or unable to deliver on what was asked of you. Secondly, recklessly promise highlights the behavior of making commitments without due deliberation. Promises should be sacred and given only after ensuring that you can and will adhere to them. Reckless promises can lead to broken trust and disappointment. The overarching lesson from this saying is the importance of prudence and responsibility in making decisions and commitments. Whether it's in personal relationships or professional engagements, being cautious and thoughtful about what we agree to and promise ensures integrity and reliability. This not only helps in building trust with others, but also in maintaining peace and self-respect in one's own life. 51. A bright mirror does not get sullied by dust. With a clear spirit, desires cannot cling. A bright mirror does not get sullied by dust. Here, the bright mirror symbolizes the mind or soul of a person. Just as a clean mirror reflects images without distortion, a clear and pure mind reflects truth and reality without being clouded by external negativity or disturbances. In practical terms, this teaches us the value of maintaining clarity and purity in our thoughts and perspectives, regardless of the chaos or negativity that might surround us. With a clear spirit, desires cannot cling. This emphasizes that a person whose spirit is clear and focused is not easily swayed or attached by worldly desires. Desires often lead to distraction and dissatisfaction. Maintaining a clear and focused spirit helps us remain centered and unshaken by such desires. Lesson for life. By cultivating a clear mind and a pure spirit, we can navigate life more effectively, keeping ourselves free from the distortions of unnecessary desires and external negativity. This approach helps in achieving peace and contentment in our daily lives, promoting a sense of inner stability and resilience. 52. When you are content simply being yourself, without comparing or competing with anyone, all people will respect you. The first part, when you are content simply being yourself, encourages the embrace of one's true nature. The essence here is that inner peace arises from accepting oneself without pretense or facade. It is a reminder that true contentment does not rely on external achievements or possessions, but on a deep, serene acceptance of one's own identity and capabilities. The second segment, without comparing or competing with anyone, highlights the futility and discord that often stem from comparing oneself to others. Such comparisons can lead to envy and resentment, which disturb personal peace and social harmony. Laozi would suggest that each individual's path is unique, and that peace comes from focusing on one's own journey rather than measuring it against those of others. The concluding insight, "all people will respect you," suggests that when one radiates authenticity and peace, others are naturally drawn to and respect such qualities. This respect is born not out of fear or competition, but from genuine admiration for one's self-assuredness and harmony with life's flow. The lesson for life here is clear. Embrace your true self without succumbing to societal pressures to compare or compete. This approach not only cultivates personal peace, but also fosters a respectful and harmonious environment with others. 53. When there is still desire, one can only see the superficial narrowness and not the vast depths within. The first part, when there is still desire, suggests that desire is a common human condition, but it is not permanent. It implies that moving beyond desire is a possibility and perhaps a desirable state. Desires can cloud our judgment, leading us to make decisions based on limited knowledge and immediate satisfaction. The latter part of the saying, one can only see the superficial narrowness and not the vast depths within, warns us that desire blinds us to the richness and complexity of situations or people. It's a call to look beyond appearances or initial impressions. The lesson here is about cultivating depth in our understanding and interactions. By reducing our focus on personal desires, we can gain a clearer, more comprehensive view of the world. This helps in making wiser decisions that are considerate of deeper values and long-term impacts, enhancing our relationships and personal growth. Thus, aspiring to a life with fewer desires could lead to greater wisdom and inner peace. 54. Happiness is born in suffering. Suffering is hidden in happiness. The first part, happiness is born in suffering, suggests that through enduring hardships, we often find moments of joy and fulfillment. It teaches us that challenges can lead to personal growth and eventual contentment. This is a reminder that the difficulties we face are not merely obstacles, but opportunities to develop resilience and appreciate the value of our experiences. The second part, suffering is hidden in happiness, warns us that even in our happiest moments, there may be seeds of future challenges. This teaches us to remain aware and prepared, understanding that life circumstances can change. It encourages us to appreciate our joyful moments without becoming complacent, always maintaining a mindful and balanced perspective. From this saying, we learn the importance of embracing life's full spectrum. By accepting both the pain and pleasure of our experiences, we cultivate a deeper wisdom and stability. This balanced approach allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity, making us better equipped to handle whatever comes our way. 55. Knowing sufficiency is sufficiency, indeed is sufficiency. Knowing leisure is leisure, indeed is leisure. The first part, knowing sufficiency is sufficiency, indeed is sufficiency, emphasizes the importance of recognizing and appreciating what one has. It teaches that true satisfaction comes not from accumulating more, but from appreciating the present and understanding that it often fulfills our needs. This approach discourages greed and promotes a life of simplicity and contentment. The lesson here is to avoid the perpetual chase for more, which can lead to perpetual dissatisfaction. Instead, by acknowledging and valuing what we have, we can find peace and contentment in our current circumstances. The second part, knowing leisure is leisure, indeed is leisure, speaks to recognizing and valuing moments of rest and tranquility in our lives. It suggests that leisure is not merely the absence of work, but a state of being that we must acknowledge and embrace to truly experience its benefits. This teaches us the importance of balance between work and rest. By consciously recognizing times of leisure, we allow ourselves to recharge and maintain mental and emotional health. In essence, this phrase as a whole advises us to appreciate what we have and find balance in our lives. By understanding and accepting both our material limits and our need for rest, we can live more harmoniously and satisfactorily. 56. He who wishes to control others often fails to control himself. This proverb highlights a common human contradiction. The first part, he who wishes to control others, suggests a person's desire to exert influence or authority over other people. This is often seen in leaders, managers, or even in personal relationships. It reflects a focus outward, trying to manipulate or change external circumstances or behaviors. The second part, often fails to control himself, reveals the paradox. It suggests that while one might be keen to govern others, they may neglect self-discipline and self-awareness. This neglect indicates a lack of inner harmony and personal mastery, which are essential for true leadership and genuine influence. The lesson here is profound yet straightforward. True control begins within oneself. To effectively lead or influence others, one must first master one's own emotions, thoughts, and actions. This self-mastery ensures that one's leadership is grounded in authenticity and wisdom, rather than coercion or force. It teaches us the importance of introspection and personal development as the foundations for any external success or influence we seek in life. 57. Those who seek to show off will only end up diminishing themselves. First, those who seek to show off refers to individuals who have an intense desire to prove their worth or superiority to others. This often stems from a place of insecurity or a need for external validation. People in this mindset believe that by displaying their achievements, talents, or possessions, they will gain respect and admiration. However, the second part of the sentence, will only end up diminishing themselves, reveals the irony and unintended consequences of such behavior. When someone consistently tries to highlight their own attributes or successes, it can lead to others perceiving them as boastful or arrogant. This behavior can alienate friends, colleagues, and community members, leading to a loss of genuine human connections. The lesson here is about humility and authenticity. In life, it's important to let our actions and character speak for themselves. By focusing on genuine self-improvement rather than seeking approval, we naturally attract the respect and friendship of others. This approach not only fosters deeper relationships, but also helps maintain self-respect and inner peace. 58. If you look within your own heart, you can find all the answers. Firstly, if you look within your own heart suggests an action of introspection. It implies turning your focus inward, away from external distractions and opinions. In today's busy world, we often seek advice and validation from outside sources. However, this part of the sentence teaches us the importance of listening to our inner voice and emotions. By doing so, we gain clarity about our true desires and values. The second part, you can find all the answers, highlights a profound truth about self-sufficiency and wisdom. It suggests that deep within us lies the wisdom necessary to resolve our dilemmas and guide our decisions. Our hearts, when consulted sincerely, can unveil insights about our life and the direction we should take. In applying this lesson in daily life, one could practice moments of quiet and meditation each day to connect with their inner self. This habit can help in making more authentic and aligned decisions, leading to a more fulfilling life. Remember, the journey to understanding begins within oneself, and every answer you seek is more accessible than you might think if you just look inward. 59. Those who rush forward cannot go far. The first part of the saying, those who rush forward, speaks to the behavior of hastily pursuing goals without thorough planning or consideration. In the philosophy of Taoism, which I advocate, this behavior is often cautioned against. Rushing indicates a lack of patience and harmony with the natural flow of life, which is essential for understanding Taoism. The second part, cannot go far reveals the consequence of such impatience. Here, going far, metaphorically, represents achieving long-term success or maintaining sustainable progress in any endeavor. The idea emphasizes that true advancement requires more than just initial enthusiasm or quick actions. It needs endurance, resilience, and a thoughtful approach. From this saying, the lesson to be learned is the importance of patience and deliberation in our actions. Instead of pushing aggressively towards immediate results, one should embrace a more measured and reflective approach. This not only aligns with the Taoist principle of wu wei, effortless action, but also ensures more stable and enduring achievements in life. Thus, taking time to carefully plan and execute tasks is crucial for long-lasting success and personal fulfillment. 60. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. 1. A journey of 1,000 miles. This phrase symbolizes any large or daunting task you face in life. It could be a literal journey, a personal goal like education, a career ambition, or even a spiritual quest. The 1,000 miles represents something vast and seemingly insurmountable. 2. Begins with a single step. Here lies the core wisdom. Every great endeavor starts with something small and manageable. No matter how extensive or challenging a task may seem, it all starts with one manageable action. This step is both a literal and a figurative beginning, urging one to take action rather than remaining idle. The lesson to draw from this is not to be overwhelmed by the scale of your challenges. Instead, focus on the immediate, simple actions that you can take right now. Progress, no matter how slow or modest, is still progress. Taking that initial step is crucial because without it, the journey can never truly begin. Therefore, always dare to take the first step, no matter how small, towards achieving your goals. This mindset will help you overcome procrastination and fear, leading to success in various aspects of life.
Hey everyone, your comments truly matter, offering insights and motivation to others and uplifting our creative team at Lighthouse of Wisdom channel. Sharing your thoughts and experiences enriches our community. So, let's get the conversation started below and help illuminate our path with your wisdom.